In the ever-dramatic world of General Hospital, where secrets unravel faster than DNA tests at GH Labs, longtime fans are reeling from what could be the most heartbreaking twist yet, not on screen, but off. Soap legend Kin Shriner, who has portrayed the quick-witted, suit-loving, and endlessly scheming Scott Baldwin since 1977, has once again sparked rumors that his time in Port Charles may be drawing to a close. In a cryptic social media post that read simply, "Thanks for the memories, Port Charles, it's been a wild ride," the actor sent shockwaves across the soap community. Within minutes, hashtags like #GoodbyeScott, #KinShrinerExit, and #GHLegend were trending, with longtime viewers mourning what could be the end of an era. But is this really goodbye? Or just another twist in the soap opera that never sleeps? Let's dive into the creative speculation, fan theories, and potential storylines General Hospital might explore if Shriner is indeed on his way out, and how Scott Baldwin's final chapter could shake the entire town to its core. It began as a quiet Tuesday morning. That is, until Kin Shriner dropped the bombshell heard round the soap world. Without any fanfare or context, he posted, "This journey has meant the world to me. After decades in Port Charles, I've been blessed beyond measure. Thanks for the laughs, the tears, and the courtroom drama. Love you all, Kin." The post didn't confirm an exit, but it didn't need to. For many fans, it felt like a curtain call. Within hours, soap magazines, fan blogs, and Twitter/X threads exploded with speculation. Was this Shriner's way of bowing out gracefully? Or was it a tease for a major upcoming storyline that would reposition Scott Baldwin once more? Sources close to the set have remained tight-lipped, but whispers suggest a massive summer storyline is underway, one that places Scott in the center of a fatal betrayal, a shocking courtroom showdown, and an emotional farewell. At the moment, Scott Baldwin has been mostly operating on the sidelines, throwing out sarcastic quips, defending eccentric clients, and making half-hearted romantic overtures toward Lucy Coe again. But that's about to change. Creative spoilers suggest that a deadly case is heading to Port Charles, and Scott will take center stage one last time, as both defense attorney and hunted man. A mysterious figure named Clayton Morley, rumored to be an international financier and former adversary of Martin Gray, is coming to town. But his arrival has a ripple effect, unearthing a decades-old crime that connects to the Baldwin family. Clayton claims that Scott's father, Lloyd Bentley, a name never before uttered in canon, was involved in a corporate fraud case that destroyed dozens of lives in the 1960s. Now, Clayton wants revenge, and he intends to use Scott's own courtroom tactics against him. Scott is soon disbarred, arrested, and left to defend himself in the same courtroom where he built his legacy. As if Scott's legal nightmare wasn't enough, a familiar face returns just in time to support him, his daughter, Serena Baldwin, last seen in 2017, played by Carly Schroeder in a surprise guest appearance. Serena, now a powerful environmental attorney working with the UN, flies into Port Charles when she hears of her father's arrest. Her relationship with Scott has always been strained, but this is different. This is about legacy, redemption, closure. In a tearful confrontation, Serena asks, "Did you really know what your father did, Dad? Did you hide it from me my whole life?" Scott, broken and vulnerable for the first time in years, confesses that he discovered the truth decades ago but chose to bury it, believing it was better to let the past die with those who committed the sins. But secrets in Port Charles never stay buried. Meanwhile, Lucy Coe is wrestling with her own heartbreak. Despite rekindling a flirtation with Scott during her falling out with Martin, she is once again caught in a triangle, one that now includes Clayton Morley, who seems to have an odd fixation on her. Clayton offers Lucy a deal: betray Scott on the stand and testify that he knew about his father's crimes, or face ruin herself, as Clayton threatens to expose Lucy's past embezzlement schemes from the 2000s. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Lucy tells Felicia, "What if I can't save him? What if this time I'm the one who loses everything?" The courtroom scenes that follow are vintage GH, explosive, emotionally charged, and layered with decades of history. Scott, disheveled and nearly defeated, delivers a closing argument that becomes less about the case and more of a love letter to his life in Port Charles. I've loved, I've lost. I've fought for justice, and I've broken the law myself. I'm not a saint, but if this town taught me anything, it's that redemption is possible, even for the likes of me. After days of testimony and drama, the verdict is in. Not guilty. Scott is acquitted, but the damage is done. His reputation is shattered. He is no longer welcome in the courtroom. The judge recommends permanent disbarment. With nothing left to fight for, Scott decides to do the unthinkable, leave Port Charles for good. In a heart-wrenching farewell montage scored to a piano rendition of We Belong, a nod to his past with Laura, Scott walks through the town he called home. The docks, Kelly's, the courthouse, and finally, the hospital, where he shares a poignant moment with Elizabeth Weber, the granddaughter of his old flame, Audrey Hardy. "Take care of this place, Liz," he says. "It raised me and nearly buried me." Before he boards a boat leaving the harbor, Scott leaves behind one letter, addressed to Laura Collins. In it he writes, "You were always the one I could never hold on to. And maybe that's why I kept fighting everyone else. To feel like I was still worthy of love, even if I lost the best I ever had. Tell Kevin to take care of you. And don't forget me. Not completely." Laura reads the letter at her desk in the mayor's office, tears streaming down her face. She places the letter in a drawer marked Scott Baldwin along with an old photo of them from the 1980s. It's a full-circle moment. The bad boy who tried to win her heart against Luke Spencer, the man who stuck around while others vanished, has finally let go. As news of Scott's on-screen departure spreads, fan reactions are overwhelmingly emotional. Social media is flooded with tribute videos, fan art, and personal stories about how Kin Schreiner's portrayal of Scott Baldwin impacted generations of soap viewers. One fan writes, "He was the voice of sarcasm. The guy who never quite got the girl, but kept showing up anyway. I grew up with him. He was Port Charles." Even former cast members chime in, including Jeannie Francis, who posts, "No one made me laugh or roll my eyes quite like Kin. If this is truly goodbye, it's the end of something special." ABC and General Hospital release a joint statement that does little to clarify the future. "We celebrate Kin Schreiner and his legacy as Scott Baldwin. He is, and always will be, part of our GH family. But wait, this is General Hospital. Nothing is ever final." Some insiders suggest that Schreiner's exit is part of a larger summer twist. Rumors hint at a Scott Baldwin spin-off project focused on legal drama, or that Scott will return under a new identity, perhaps in a witness protection arc. There's also speculation that Serena Baldwin could stick around, taking over her father's role and clashing with the town's next generation of legal minds, Diane Alexis, and even a budding Esme Prince if she returns to law school. Kin Schreiner himself responds to the buzz just days later with a coy follow-up tweet. "You know me, always stirring the pot. Keep watching. Port Charles isn't done with me yet." Whether this is a permanent exit, a break, or just a perfectly executed publicity tease, there's no denying the impact Kin Schreiner and Scott Baldwin have had on General Hospital. Through triumphs, tragedies, feuds, affairs, and courtroom takedowns, Scott has remained a character who felt deeply human, flawed, but ultimately loyal. And if this is truly goodbye, at least he left on his own terms, with sarcasm intact and heart still beating for the town he never could leave behind. But in Port Charles, even goodbyes can be temporary. Stay tuned. Because like Scott Baldwin once said, "I may be down, but don't count me out." This town's always got one more